expertise, we also want to invite you to get involved and to do the same kind of a thing. Become a part of this community that has these values of sharing your expertise and of sharing opportunities, and we believe it will come back to you. And you might say to yourself, well, how could that be true? Why would I waste my time giving away time or doing networking or stuff like that? As an attorney, can't you take all the time you've invested in SLCircle and go bill people at $250 an hour, and in the end you get more money? And let me explain it to you this way. This is the way I look at it. There's three kinds of relationships. There's the kind called commerce, and that's what most business people think of, which is, I want to hire you, or I walk into a store and I see a product and I want to buy it. So the first thing I say is, what's in it for me? And then based on whatever that is worth to me, what its value is, I negotiate a price. I say, well, that's what I'll pay for it, and then we make an exchange. And that works really well at Walmart, where I don't know anybody, but that's commerce. That's just exchange. Okay? There's another kind of relationships at the other end of the spectrum, which is kind of the relationship you have with your parents. They sacrifice their time, their money, all kinds of things to help you grow up, to make sure you've got the things that they have. And what would it be like if when you were 2 years old, they walked in, they looked down in that crib and they said, what's in it for me? What are you going to pay for diaper changes? We got to get these details worked out, or this just isn't going to work, right? It doesn't happen that way. We all know our parents, sacrificed, and at the end of the day, what they say, they got more out of it than we did, because they love us. They sacrificed because that's the way they feel about us, and in some strange way that won't make sense to any business people, they got more out of it than we did. And I guess if you're a parent, you already know kind of how that feels too. But there's a third kind of a relationship that exists that's right in the middle of commerce and sacrifice, and that's the relationship that I like to call team. And the great thing about a team is it's kind of like the relationship you have with your parents. There's a whole bunch of people who are giving and giving to the team and making a contribution to the organization. So when I go out there and I give, let's say I'm on a team with 6 board members, I'm giving 16% of the effort. There's 5 other people who just gave me 84% of the effort, and I'm always getting more on a team than I'm getting when I'm just working by myself, as strange as that may seem. And another thing I love about teams is that they're fun. It's a lot more fun. You're a lot happier when you're in relationships with people that you care about and that you trust, and it just makes business better. But I've got an example that I just wanted to share. I was talking about this with John before the event started. My son is 16. He was on the varsity basketball team this year, and they happened to win the state championship. And the week after, we had the coaches and some of the players over at our house for dinner. And one of the coaches said to the kids, you know what, I loved going into battle with you guys. And I really just loved the way he portrayed that to the kids, because I've coached some teams before and I kind of know how he felt. But when you are coaching basketball, when you're playing basketball, you're part of a team. And as a coach, you're on the sideline and you have to put 5 kids out on that floor who might be 16, 17, 18 years old. And then you have to watch. The game's on their shoulders to win or lose. And somehow they take that responsibility and they win night after night. With what you've been teaching them and giving them as a coach, they go out there, they find a way to win. And that's what makes a coach feel good. And that's what makes the teammates feel good, is knowing that they were part of that group that persevered and was successful. And so that's kind of my last kind of statement I want to deliver tonight about being a team and being part of this SLCircle and business mastery and all the stuff we're talking about, is that there's some value there, but over and above everything else, at the end of the day, you can find people here that you can trust, that you can work with, that you can become part of a real long-lasting team with, and really succeeding together with your friends is more satisfying than anything else. So, if you want to be a millionaire at whatever it is that you do, make sure that you're building your relationships and working on your relationships, because I guarantee that if you can maintain relationships over a long term, somebody on your team is going to be the key to your success.